A UNC Charlotte professor is celebrating a bold new chapter, using the pandemic to become a published author on a topic that is making some people blush. The gender studies professor created a strong heroine that has people talking. And wait until you hear the inspiration for this. UNC Charlotte's Michelle Bowden explains in tonight's Where's the Money report.
This is interesting. She says the wheels started turning in her mind about the idea for this book right after that deadly campus shooting there at UNCC. And as far as the inspiration for the character, she says that's from one of her students, and it's an unlikely heroine. Kelly Finley has been teaching at UNC Charlotte for 20 years, mostly focused on gender studies.
I just started typing.
But during COVID, she started working on something else.
The story kept waking me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And this heroine was talking to me.
Finley has an English degree, but says she hadn't written anything creative in decades. And yet suddenly a novel was pouring out of her.
I became obsessed. I didn't stop for over a year.
She ended up with a 3-book series, all centered around an unlikely hero, a heroine actually, who's former military and now working as a bodyguard.
I think a lot of women want to read the same thing as well. They want to read characters who are complex like they are, who are strong like they are, who are not intimidated.
She says the character is partially based on one of her students, but she says she had all of her students on her mind when the concept started to take shape.
We need help. We're in a classroom.
In the months just after the deadly shooting there on campus.
This sense of, well, what would I do when or if something were to happen? And we were being trained that way as faculty, you know, how to get them out and so forth. And all of a sudden, you know, I feel like I'm like a bodyguard, and if you will. And so that started generating something within me when it comes to the story, you know, this sense of being super protective.
She says she's grateful for the positive feedback that's already been coming in.
Reviewers are calling it the romantic suspense at its finest, which I'm excited about.
It's sexy, right? I mean, this is like...
It's very steamy and sexy, definitely. Yeah. And that's the interesting thing is oftentimes when you have these stories of the heroine, she's not allowed to have a really powerful romance at the same time. It's like an either or.
And the veteran college professor says she's grateful for the wisdom that comes with age that's allowed her to take this leap. So she's still holding on to her day job, but she's also still writing, already at work on the next book. Now, as far as the series, 2 of the books are already out. The 3rd is going to be published next month. Reporting in Charlotte, Michelle Bowden, WCNC Charlotte.